Hey y'all, it's Nancy the Handy Scandy. Welcome back for another crafty venture. And I welcome you to my episode 30 of Saturday Morning Makes. Hey y'all, happy Saturday morning makes. Welcome in. Thank you for joining me this morning. If you are new, welcome for the first time. If you have been with me for a while, welcome back. Thank y'all for clicking on the video and selecting to spend your time with me this morning or this afternoon or evening, whatever time of day it is you're watching. So Saturday morning makes is one of my favorite days of the week. So I say day because I do try to post my stuff on Saturdays. However, if you want to join us or if you're looking for other people who may have participated to see what they've done, we don't necessarily only post on Saturday. We post whenever we're able, whenever we have the time to craft and then to share what it is we crafted. And also, we don't have to do a video. You can share on whatever social media platform works best for you. If posting a picture to a Facebook group or your own personal page or Instagram or whatever works, right? You can do a little reel or a short if you want to. Yeah. We have a Facebook group as well called Saturday Morning Makes and Today's Too, I think is what it's called. I can never remember verbatim, but I will try to link it downstairs in the description box. I will also make a link to Jill Norwood, who created this amazing idea, and she has quite the following, and she calls all of us her co-hosts as we share heart, H-E-A-R-T together. So without further ado, I will say if you have more questions about it, drop it downstairs in the description box. Otherwise, I'm going to jump on into my full-fledged Halloween share today, except this one little snowman. I have a second one, but he's lost somewhere in the chaos on my desk right now. Oh, I think I found it, but it's not done. It was stuck to the bottom of my sanding block. Okay, so I guess I'll start with these. Let me move these out of the way. Oh, people, this is my life. So I did not film much at all this week, but I have been playing. So I'm going to start with this little guy. These are wooden tags that I picked up from Michael's. You know that, I don't want to call it their dollar section up front, but right by the checkouts, they have different things right there. And so I picked these tags up. I've had them for probably a year. This is the first time I decided to use them. And on this side I have put some pattern paper. Both of these, you can't see very well, but that is pattern paper underneath that paint. Both of the papers are from Stampin' Up. I need to snip that. That's really bothering me. I'm gonna have to find my scissors. When I do, I'll snip it. Both of the sweet little images are from Whippersnapper. No, Inky Antics. I'm sorry, I'm lying. Inky Antics. So this is that one. This is this one. I stamped them directly onto the wood and then I heat embossed. And so the stamping worked fine. However, when I went to color with Olo markers, and I knew it would probably happen, but the color spread, you can kind of see like right in here, the color just kind of wicked out with the wood grain. But I didn't hate it. It wasn't horrible. So I added just a little bit of color on the details, a little bit of shadow in between, and then the highlight around them. I still have to finish this one up. I likely won't put anything on the back, but I didn't want just raw wood. And so on this guy, same thing. Just not a whole lot of color on him, but then I used several different shades of green on the background. And then I used this trim and tried to make a ruffle out of it. I don't know how successful it is. It's very messy, but I'm not mad about it. I may add something else right across the middle just to clean it up a little bit. Maybe something, I don't know. I don't know. I may just leave it. But I also used a sanding block. I had mentioned that my tag was stuck to the bottom of it. So I bought a set of 4. So I sanded this down. I sanded one of the paper tags down as well. I have not sanded this one, but they have different grits on them. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. But I'll be using these again, but these are for hashtag snowmen in summer. And if you are unfamiliar with that, it is a hashtag just to get us using our snowman stamps outside of season. Just again, hashtag snowmen in summer. Snowmen is plural, and it's the word in, not of. So snowmen in summer, and it will go all the way till, what is the last day of summer? September something, right? It's not Labor Day weekend, but I think it's the 20th. So whatever the last day of summer is, that will be when we stop the hashtag. But there are plenty of other hashtags out there as well. Yeah, so I'm going to stop there, though. I'm going to go ahead and jump on into my other tags. So these two tags are double-sided. And I have used a variety of stuff that was mostly just in my stash. So I don't have the tag in front of me, but this is more like a label die. I just put a hole in it and then added a reinforcer, and it comes with, it cuts out the label and then it cuts out the frame. So I flipped it over. This this grungy pattern paper is from Impression Obsession, which sadly is closing their doors. But people have to live their lives too, I get it. So I do wish her all the best, but it's just sad to me that like an icon in the creative industry is closing their doors. But I understand. I do. Anyway, so that's where this paper comes from. But you can see that the frame around the orange grungy pattern paper is black, whereas the frame around the black pattern paper is orange. And I really liked that contrast. So I've used these little bits. These are from a penny black die that I had cut out for a project I did last week. I had a million pumpkins and the ghosts and the cats and the fences and the grass. So I just tried to use them up. The bats I did die cut out of a different die set. So the grass is from this set from Whimsy. The bat is from this set from Whimsy. The tombstones are as well. The cats, the little pumpkins, this ghost, they're all from a set from, not Honeybee. Oh, I'm going to have to list it downstairs in the description box. It's the same die set that I used last week. This little guy, and I'll be using the other one, but these are from, this calls for confetti. They're these guys, and I have a tag coming up that has all three of them together. Ghostly Greetings from This Calls for Confetti. Let me see what else. This stamp is from Tim Holtz. It was from one of his Halloween releases. I think it was last year, or his one Halloween. So it's this Jack, and then this Scully. And then on this side, it's the owl. And I have another card coming up where I've used the witch, but there's also this spider right there. So I use several of these on here. I really like this stamp set. It's fun. The artistry is a little bit different than what we're used to, but I really, really like it. So I think that's it for these tags. If there's anything you wanted to know about them that I didn't address, let me know. I've used Olo markers to color where coloring was done. I've used a white gel pen, and I think that's it. All right, setting those two up there. Now we're going to jump on to these. So these are just these manila tags, and I took the little circles off and I layered up paper. So these background papers are from Stampin' Up. They've been in my stash forever, just trying to use things up. So we're going to start on this side of both tags. Obviously it's the green stripe with the cats, and I added one of those dies. It was in my stash from my sweet friend Joan. This was from a sticker book that I got from Michael's. I don't know if this was last year's book or the year before, but I just thought that was kind of fun. These wings and this lock are from Whimsy. They were in my stash. This heart is from, I don't know, Creek Bake Creations maybe. And then these ghosties are also from ghostly greetings from This Calls for Confetti. So I thought that was fun. This is just one of those excess pieces of trim that we normally would throw away, but I thought that it was fun right there to make like a little dental molding like trim. I don't know what I'm saying. These spiders in this house are from this little book again, little sticker book. I don't often use stickers, but when I pulled it out, I thought, let's just do it. I mean, they're just tags, right? Let's just do it. So I thought it was fun. There's not anything 3D on this, except this little dental molding piece has more dimension than the rest, but I think it's fun. It's just simple. I like the way that this green is very, very similar, if not identical to that green, and then the color of the spider kind of pulls out the rusty colors there. Super fun. You can see the loft on this guy is at least double this one. This is super thick. This is from Barely Arts, so it's a starter pack, and it is extra tall. When it says extra tall, it's no joke. Like, look at the depth of that. That's super, super thick. So yeah, so there's the stripes, or the whatever you call those, the squares, and then there's some smaller square. Are they smaller? They are. I think they're smaller. I don't know, maybe they're not. Maybe it's 2 of the squares and 2 of the strips. So anyway, yep, that's what it says, 2 of each. So those I picked up at Whimsy. And then we'll flip it over. And did I say that the brain sticker came from that Recollections book as well? And then this trim was from my stash. Now on this side, the paper already had this spider on it. It was printed on it, and so that was kind of my direction. And so I found this spider sticker in the stash, or in the book from Recollections. And then I found this window die was in my stash. I had some acetate on my desk. So I said, let's make it a shaker. Now it is a little bit messy to me on the sides. I've tried to kind of hide some of that foam tape with a black marker. It's not incredibly effective. I might go back in with a Sharpie to see if I can't clean that up some more. But for now, this is what we've got. And I used the Eclipse Sparkle Gems as well as the Amber Sparkle Gems. So I love that this one has the black, and then this one has the green, because that pulls out those colors in the background. So I thought that was fun. You don't see shaker tags very often, but I really like it. I think it's fun. It's super cute. It's just something different. So there we go. That's those tags. So let me scoot these aside. And then I will share this card. I actually put it in a video the other day. I was playing with some Distress Resist spray and a stencil, and I have, well, I thought I found the stencil. I did find it. It's just a matter of where it wound up right now on my desk. Oh, here it is. It got shifted. So this is the stencil, and it is either Simon Hurley or Catherine Pooler or Cartabella. But I haven't been able to find it on any of their websites. So I think whoever it's from, it's been discontinued. And unfortunately, it doesn't have the etching. You know, some companies will etch into them. But I've had this in my stash for some time. So I don't know. I know it's not This Calls for Confetti. I have a million beautiful stencils from This Calls for Confetti, but I keep them stored separately. So I know it's not them. But at any rate, I went ahead and I just laid this down, and I sprayed my my spray through it. There we go. The Distress spray. And then I laid 2 other pieces of, actually I used mixed media card to lift whatever was excess of the resist spray. So then I had two prints of the stencil. And then on the background, I used some of the spray mediums. So there is a video for this. I just wanted to share this card because then I'm going to share these two, which incorporate the other two backgrounds. So a friend of mine said this particular background was going to look great with a skull on it. And so I said, well, I'm going to do them both. I'm going to do them both. So then I pulled out this stamp set. Now this is Rest in Peace. Again, it was newly released last year. I don't know what it is about a skull, but I love them. So I didn't die cut him. There is no die cut. Well, Simon might send or sell a die cut, but I don't have it. So excuse me. Let me get a sip of my coffee. It's still fairly early here. My apologies. So I stamped him out. I used embossing powder. I heat embossed it, and then they're both done on watercolor card. So then I used some sprays and some micas and some stains and spritzes and whatever to do them up, so you can see all that mica. I have not wiped the excess off, and I may not. I don't know. I may go back in and do it, but right now I haven't done it, and I'm not going to in this moment. Then I took the condemned stamp along that background, and I stamped it twice on both edges and heat embossed that. And then I used this die from All in Create, and it's meant to be a layered die. It has these edges as well. I haven't used them yet, but it's meant to be layered where the larger piece is going to be your layering weight, whether it's going to be, like in this case I used black, but I used this larger piece to die cut my actual card panel because I didn't want to lose any of that. So I used this, and then I just trimmed down some black paper just to fit. Now these are European measurements, so the sizes are a little bit different, but I don't mind that wider trim. And there are different ways that you can handle that. You can trim your card base down. You can shift it over to one side or the other. Or if you do it landscape, you can, you know, shift it up or down. You can turn it a little bit wonky. Lots of different things you can do. But I just thought that was really fun. Pulled out some more cheesecloth from my stash and used some spray stains to grunge it up. This one I actually did with yellow. I just thought that was fun, and it kind of gave it an aged look without making it look like dirty and grungy, but also it coordinated well with the yellow that's in the background, which you can't see a whole lot of yellow in the background, but it's there. But also the yellow that's prominent on the Scully. So I used the same colors on the skulls that I used on the backgrounds, except that I didn't use the brighter colors, like, well, I guess yellow's pretty bright. I didn't use the purple or the orange in this case. And on this one, I used all of it. But I did bring some of the green over here. I just thought it gave it a little more of an eerie feel. But you can definitely see where all that mica is sitting. And it's gorgeous. This one says, an unfortunate ending. And then I used the rest of that background piece in here. Now this was black mixed media card. And then this was the white mixed media card. And I used the excess in here on the inside too. I just didn't want to waste that. So those are the two backgrounds that were created with the print from the excess resist spray on this. And what I'm noticing is that it actually created texture on these two cards versus resist. Because it didn't resist, it soaked right in. You can see it in the background, just barely, but it soaked right in. And I do hate that I chose skulls that were so big that just kind of covered up that whole background. But had I not used this die, there would have been this much more of the background that you could see. But of course it's here. And you can see there definitely, there's texture, but there's no resisting going on. Same with this one. There's no resisting. It's just textured. So it's interesting how it worked a little bit different when I printed it and then lifted it. And then finally, let me put these over here. Finally, I have this card, and I was just playing around, and then I got stuck. So I had the panel after I stamped it, heat embossed it. I colored it up with my Olos, and then I went back in with some, I don't know if I used oxides or mica stains or spritzes. Maybe I used all three. I've been doing that lately, using all three. But in any case, I was stuck, and I didn't know what to put back here. So I knew that I wanted to use this black and white plaid. I thought that was great, but I wanted something to make the colors pop. So I put it on my community tab, and I had a couple people reply. I had someone say orange and black. Someone else said white, I think. So I had Marcy replied, and Joan replied, and I think the person's name was her, yes, her, or her, she, her. I can't remember. But anyway, they agreed with Marcy. So I actually had made this before I saw the responses. But I feel like because there's only a little bit of orange, I mean, the orange would have worked as well, and the blues and purples did. I tried them all, but that's why I went with this kind of blue-purple card base. And I added a yellow panel inside and stamped out 3 of the little baddies. And I used the pattern paper here just to tie it all together. But I really felt like this yellow was the best of all the options that I had, because it really pulled out the yellows. Now I did go back with my Posca paint pen, and I filled in those yellow places with the paint pen, just because the mica stains and the sprays just weren't doing it justice like I wanted it to do. So again, you can see where the mica is pooled and settled. And it's so amazing to me how beautifully the spritzes show up on black cardstock. It really is amazing to me. But they do a great job, and I'm enjoying playing with them, especially playing with them in conjunction with the other spray mediums. So having fun with that. But guys, these are my shares for today, my makes for today. I'm glad I found this other taggy. I need to finish it up. But isn't that a cute image, those snowmen? So hashtag snowmen in summer, hashtag Satmorn makes. There's also 2 crafters, 1 design. There's lots of different things. I think Jill is doing autumn and August. I think there are other people doing Christmas as well. So whatever your inspiration might be, whatever your goal or desire to create might be, there is inspiration out there. There are hashtags just waiting to be participated in. So do a search, see what's out there, and if there's something that you want to do that's not there, feel free. Just put it out there. People will join in. So I thank you for spending time with me. Drop me a comment downstairs. Hit the like button. Go ahead and subscribe if you're not already a member, and I will see you next time. Thanks again so much. This is Nancy, the Handy Scandy. Mwah. And I'm out.